I got a military-age male on a cell phone watching the convoy, over.
If you think he's reporting troop movement, you have a green light. Your call, over.
Maybe he's just calling his old lady.
He stepped off. Hold on, I got a woman and a kid 200 yards out, moving towards the convoy. Her arms aren't swinging, she's carrying something. She's got a grenade. She's got an RKG Russian grenade. She's saying to the kid. You got eyes on this? Can you confirm?
Negative. Your call.
And they fry you if you're wrong.
A movie about soldiers and their families and what they have to go through so that the rest of us would understand what it really means to make that sacrifice.
Do you ever think that you might have seen things or done some things over there that you wish you hadn't?
Oh, that's not me, no.
Chris Kyle did 4 tours in Iraq as a Navy SEAL sniper, and he saved a lot of Marines and excelled at what he did.
The thing that haunts me are all the guys that I couldn't save.
He was a man who's torn between 2 great responsibilities, a responsibility to his country and responsibility to family.
Oh my God, Chris.
What's wrong?
No.
Here's the tape. You see the first plane coming in from what looks like the east side, and it goes into the building with the flames and the smoke billowing out the other side of the tower. It's hard for me to tell exactly which is the north side and which is the south side. It appears it's coming out.
For Chris, it was about who he had to save. And he had that thread of protection, that need to protect running so deeply through him that no matter how much you hate to have to do this, his need to protect would always outweigh anything else that he would take on personally.
There's a war going on, there's people dying, no one's even talking about that. It's like it's not even happening. No one cares.
Jason Hall, who wrote the script, he spent so many countless hours with Chris. He was so knowledgeable about Chris's life.
It was a hell of a shot, son. You got a gift. You're gonna make a fine hunter someday.
The stories about Chris before he became a SEAL were an entirely different picture than the one that I got in the book. His dad taught him to be a protector, and I think there's something inherent in Chris that was just kind of different.
Some people prefer to believe that evil doesn't exist in the world, but we protect our own. If someone tries to fight you or tries to bully your little brother, you have my permission to finish it. You know who you are. You know your purpose.
He always wanted to be a cowboy and a soldier, so he got to fulfill both of those dreams.
You like to fight?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you meet the warrior elite?
SEALs.
Yep. Sea, air, and land.
Well, I'm not much for the water, sir.
No, well, say for the faint of heart, most men, they wash out, they quit.
I'm not most men, sir. I don't quit.
You get this feeling about his story that there was this pull of fate to it. Nothing was easy. It was always a struggle and it was always hard. But there was this pull the entire time of destiny, of fate.
I feel 100% confident that people see this movie, they get the heart, the soul, the character, the real Chris. And I give credit on that to Jason Hall for spending so much time digging deep and learning about all the layers of Chris.
Taya was able to provide another side to Chris that wasn't in the book, and it changed the entire movie.
You ever think about what happens when there's a real person on the end of that gun?
I don't know. I just hope I can do my job when that day comes.
And Jason, you wrote a script before Chris was killed. Where were you when you heard what happened to Chris, and how did that change everything?
We've been working on the script, and I talked to him on a Thursday. I said, I'm turning in the script. On Saturday, I got a call, and I was out picking up food for my wife, and the guy who'd been helping me, this Kevin Lacz, he said, Chris was just murdered. It was hard. It was hard because you didn't know, it didn't make any sense that this guy'd go 4 tours and walk through hell and then be killed in his own backyard, trying to help a veteran who he didn't know much about, and it was tragic. But, you know, I went down to the funeral, and Taya opened up at the funeral and said, you know, I gave her my phone number, and she called 7 days later, and she said, if you're gonna do this, you need to do it right, because this will play a part probably in how my kids are gonna remember their father.
I can't remember who said it, if it was Chris or me, but one of us mentioned, wow, what if it'd be Clint Eastwood? Like, what a perfect match. I mean, Chris grew up watching Westerns. He still watched Westerns. He watched them when he was overseas. He watched them at home.
The studio called, and ironically, I was reading his book. I had done war stories before, but this one was different. And I called him back the next day, and I said, yeah, I'm interested in the project.
After Chris was killed and I heard that Clint Eastwood had agreed to do it, I had a minute where I was just in awe and giving a nod up to heaven like, you did it.
Clint and I went to Texas and sat down with Chris's family, you know, and gave them our word that we were gonna do right by them.
Meeting the family, meeting the father who was suspicious of anybody from Hollywood, we said, hey, don't worry about that. We're gonna treat this as a really straightforward story and do tribute to this man.
Chris?
Hey, brother.
Hi.
You all right? You in one piece?
I heard you've been kicking ass out here, man. All the guys, that's what they've been saying.
How you doing? You okay?
You're my hero, bro. Yeah, you always have been.
There was a moment where Clint kind of touched his chest and said, you know, your story has my heart.
Clint and I sat in the dining room table across, you know, the videos that Taya was kind enough to give to me and Sienna, you know, where I'd watched Chris just a year prior. It's hard to even talk about this with you being right here. It's just, you know, it's just such a personal thing.
It's an important story. It's about an important guy. And it shows the toll war takes on you as a person right up to the very end.
Hey, man, you need to sit this one out.
I just won't believe in what we're doing here.
We're protecting more than just this dirt.
Just from a logistical standpoint, I didn't know how I could do the movie without being Chris the whole movie.
Bradley was able to convince Chris, I'm gonna take this real seriously, and I wanna do you justice. And that meant a lot to Chris, to hear this actor tell him that he was gonna do all the training and all the preparation that he could to really do justice to this role.
You got your off eye shut?
Well, if I close my off eye, then I can't see what's out there.
There's nothing out there but the target.
Well, negative, sir. There's something out there.
Punch it. Will push-ups help? Give me 50, Kyle. Clear and safe.
I'm better when it's breathing.
They called him the legend, and I had many a SEAL come up to me and say, "You better not F this up." I never felt burdened by that responsibility. I only felt honored with it.
How about you, old man? Huh? How you feel?
Oh, yeah, dangerous. Feeling dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Kyle's feeling dangerous.
Chris was on the phone with Bradley and said, "Well, all right then. The only thing I might have to do is tie you to the back of my truck and drag you down the street. Gonna have to knock some of the pretty off of you." Bradley gave this big, huge, hearty laugh, and Chris laughed and thought, this guy's all right. That's our guy.
You're obviously military. What branch?
I just finished Bud's heading to sniper school.
Are you kidding me? You're a SEAL?
Yes, ma'am.
My sister was engaged to a SEAL.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Hold on, how you know all about us? What do you mean?
What I mean is you're arrogant, self-centered. You think you can lie and cheat and do whatever you want. I'd never date a SEAL.
Wait, why would you say I'm self-centered? I'd lay down my life for my country.
Why?
Because it's the greatest country on earth, and I do everything I can to protect it.
If I don't believe I'm Chris, no one else is going to believe it. And I need to figure out how he talks, and then I need to figure out how he walks.
Woo! Oh, look.
Thank you, sir. Have a
Thank
good day. You like country music?
Only when I'm depressed.
How about kids? You want kids?
Yeah, someday.
Don't pick it up. Don't you pick it up. Trap it.
Bradley, I mean, the transformation that you go through for the film, could you describe that a little bit? Because, I mean, you really are unrecognizable as yourself.
Chris Kyle is such an imposing man. He's such a charismatic man that had so many different qualities, but you can only really see how gentle he was if you were confronted with the massive physical presence. I had to get huge in order for you to see the inside of him.
Bradley was 180 pounds or something like that. And he says, well, I'm going to have to get bigger because Chris Kyle was looking pretty big. So he went on a training kick and got really big. So he looked very much like him.
What was great about Bradley is you could see his level of commitment every day. It inspired us.
He spoke with the Southern drawl, and he had this, like, just remarkable, transformative power about him.
For an actor to try to take on a Southern accent, I think is risky. To be able to take on a Texas accent, even more so.
Hey, buddy.
Chris?
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I'm right here. I'm right here.
You're my brother. They're gonna pay for what they did to you.
Bradley looked remarkably like Chris Kyle, and he carried himself like Chris Kyle, and he adopted so many of his mannerisms, and you forget it's Bradley when you're watching him. It's really eerie how much he's captured him.
So you gonna be my best man? Or just me, or is it gonna be everybody else too? There's only gonna be one best man, dude.
Just his aura, you could feel Chris Kyle, and I'd just get these goosebumps down my arms. I'd met Chris, and I'd seen him, and I'd hung out with him, and it was like, holy cow, that's Chris. It was amazing.
Like, all these guys, they know your name. They feel invincible with you up there. They're not. They are if they think they are.
Ladies and genitals, listen up. We have a legend in our midst. Round of applause for the legend.
The spirit and the character and the heart of the man, with the pain and the triumphs, everything he went through, the ability to laugh through it all, Bradley captured all of that.
I'm so proud of you. You're such a great father. The best thing about playing Taya Kyle was getting to work with Bradley, who is just probably the most amazing person I've ever worked with in terms of his openness and generosity.
It was like watching Chris in many, many ways. And some of the stuff that I know Bradley actually improvised, it's Chris. I walked away in awe.
For me, the beating heart of the movie is Chris and Taya and that love story. It totally transcends just being a military movie, and it's so much deeper than that.
At its essence, it's kind of a human story about people who struggle within the world of war and within the world of family.
Like many soldiers coming home from war, it's tough to assimilate and find your place and be a family man.
What are you so afraid of?
Everything. I don't know. What if it doesn't work out?
We're gonna get married. We're gonna start a family.
You got it all planned out, don't you?
There were some people that were just born to be protectors, and he was one of those guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Chris Kyle.
Your heart is beating out of your chest.
That's just because I'm not the only one going to war, that's all.
A lot of people don't realize the families are also serving when their loved one is overseas.
I hope that people watching the movie will really get a sense, if they don't have it already, the struggle of balancing, you know, those two worlds.
You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
I have an alien growing inside me. Why am I so nervous?
I am too.
No, you're not.
Yes,
Don't lie.
I swear. I know some alien in there's not gonna come out and grab me in the middle of the night.
They'd conducted this marriage on a sat phone, you know, and she'd been there changing diapers, and for all of these families, not just her, but everyone, their soldiers were just a phone call away, and it was like the war was really brought home for these people.
It's me, just calling to hear your voice.
I want you to tell me everything.
Well, there's certain things you just can't say over the phone.
Okay, you knocked me up, right? And I'm sitting here by myself, literally assembling baby cribs.
How's my boy?
Nobody said it's a boy.
Can't wait to see the way you're gonna be with him.
How do you know?
I just know.
What courage it took from these wives, the sacrifice of their families was huge.
You were right. The doctor says it's a boy.
It's a boy! Hell yeah, man. Congratulations.
Chris!
Oh my God!
The scenes in the movie are real. I did hear the gunshots, and he did drop the phone because he had to engage. And it was scary.
It's what it is like to try to raise a family when you got a husband who's going to war. You're wondering if he's going to come back.
Chris Kyle dedicated his life to protecting others. And then to see what war has done and the price of doing that.
It's such a personal film, and in the writing too, you are opening your heart and letting people in on the troubles that you and Chris face and the difficulties you guys face, not just the good times.
Hey, Chris. Babe. And I'm going outside.
He had to do things that he wasn't sure he could do. He always said when he went over, he didn't know if he could ever pull the trigger. And you only know when you're there. And I saw the blood pressure go through the roof. I saw the age on his face. You could see the deterioration in front of you.
You're my husband. You're the father of my children. Even when you're here, you're not here. I see you, I feel you, but you're not here. If you think this war isn't changing you, you're wrong.
You can only circle the flame so long.
We all go through times in our lives where it's harder or we're just a little bit different than we normally are, and we need our partner, our spouse, to remind us of who we are. And Chris did that for me. I did that for him, and we made it through, just like I think a lot of couples who struggle through things. They love each other enough to just keep fighting and keep trying.
Chris, just talk about it. You're not protecting me by not talking about it.
No, I don't want you getting that in your head.
No,
You
my
understand?
imagination is so much worse
No,
than
it's
anything
not.
you
They're
could tell me.
savages.
Chris, it's not about them. It's about us.
What?
You have to make it back to us.
I feel in my heart of hearts that it was that I wanted him around, but it wasn't just for me. You know, I feel like I wanted him around for him because he would have done it until it killed him, no doubt. There's nothing that would have pulled him away except for me probably saying, like, it's time, you know?
Here's a guy who'd done 4 tours in Iraq, was a chief in SEAL Team 3, had a career ahead of him, massive career just around the bend, and he quit the SEALs. He was honorably discharged. And you think, well, why did he do it? And he did it because of his family. And there's a 90% divorce rate among SEALs, and he made the choice. And he wasn't injured physically. He was physically willing and able, and he made a choice to go home. And the price that he had to pay because of that, what he had to do, how he found a way to be of service and purposeful in his civilian life. And I just found that to be, number one, incredibly noble, and number two, very moving.
Hey, it's me. I got this weird message that you were on a plane or something.
Yeah, I got out early.
You did? So what, are you in Germany or where?
No, I'm here. I'm stateside.
You're home? What are you doing?
I guess I just needed a minute.
Chris, the kids are dying to see you. It's been 9 months.
I'm coming home.
Chris was all of 37, and he looked like he'd just been, run over by a truck. And, the next morning, he opened his arms to his kids, and you just saw his eyes light up, and it was something I hadn't seen the previous night and day. And it was like, wow, this guy was somebody else before all this.
Poke the bear!
Poke the what?
Poke the bear!
Poke the what?
Poke the bear! No, you're supposed to roar like... Grr!
Like what?
Grr!
Like a beast, right? Like what?
Ooh. All I really care about is that people who watch this movie could sort of experience what it's like to go to war and then come back home and realize the hardship and the reality of what these families face.
I heard from another couple of SEALs, and they said they've had these same conversations with their wives, these same experiences, because the man is saying, I'm fighting for you. I'm fighting for our family. And the woman at some point is saying, it just doesn't feel like that. It feels like you're just gone, and it's really not about us. But what I've come to appreciate and understand, thank God, is that in hindsight and in knowing more of these men and getting involved in their families and helping them, I see that actually is the way they think. They really do feel like they're fighting for the greater good and that it's making our country a safer place.
American Sniper is about the soldier's sacrifice and what we're asking them to give when they go to war and what war takes from them. And it's about what we lose, what these soldiers lose. They put at risk their family, they put at risk their relationships, all their faculties as well as their lives.
So you wish you could have saved more guys?
Yes, sir.
Now you can walk down any hall in this hospital. We got plenty of soldiers need saving.
Why you spend all this time with us, man? I know you got a family.
Well, take care of each other, right? I see you can't hit 2 in a row.
This movie epitomizes what it means to be a part of this country. We're over there and we're doing what we're doing, but I assure you, we're constantly thinking about you over here.
I think the entire film did an amazing job of showing the challenges that veterans face when they return from combat or from their time in the military.
Coming home is in many ways harder than being over there. This film shows the struggle of transition that all of us deal with.
We tell this man's story, but he does serve a purpose, hopefully, that someone who's going to watch this movie who maybe has gone through what he's gone through or has gone through what Taya's gone through can sit there and say, oh, wow, I'm not alone. And that's what this movie can do, hopefully. And then for the people that can't relate to it, maybe it makes them stop for the first time ever and think, oh, wow, that person who's passing me by in the airport who has a uniform on, maybe I'm going to take a second look and maybe I'm going to start a conversation with them because maybe they feel alone right now. If that movie can do that, then we've succeeded. And I think Chris would be proud of that.
What is this?
No, well, you get what it gives you. That's how this thing works.
Okay, interesting.
That's good. That's strong.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
You Chief Chris Kyle?
Yes, sir.
Can I tell you something? Your dad, he's a hero. He saved my life, and he helped get back to my little girl. A lot of guys wouldn't be here without him. We know who the legend is.
At the funeral, it was a 2-hour car ride from Dallas to Austin. It's raining, and you start to see people on the side of the freeway, lining both sides of the freeway, and they're waving flags and they're holding up signs to Chris, and you're like, wow, that's really powerful.
Chris's life was beautiful and powerful, inspiring.
I think it'll make people be appreciative of people who have given a lot of time to the service of their country.
Everybody involved in this movie went above and beyond what they had to do, and it's very fitting for a man who always gave more than he had to.
I loved every moment of walking in his shoes, every moment of it.
Hello?
Baby?
Baby, I can't hear you.
I'm ready. I'm ready to come home.
Oh my God!
I'm ready to come home, baby.